Hello and welcome back to Endnotes. It is my very special pleasure to welcome our guest right now of the band Mala Sangre and many other bands previously to that, Mr. Carlos Rivera. If you want to take a seat, that would be fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you, senor.
Thank you.
Gracias muchísimo.
So yeah, you have a couple shows coming up. We mentioned one of them in our event rundown. Would you like to speak to that one? It's with Detroit Red.
Detroit Red, yeah. That one is put together, I believe, by the Nolan brothers.
Yes.
The infamous Nolan
brothers. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And that's at Sherlock's.
That is at Sherlock's on Friday the 12th, I believe, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So then also we're kind of, killing two birds with one stone in this, and you guys got something else coming up for the 27th.
Yes.
Is that right?
July 27th is Mala Sangre's CD release party at Scotty's Martini Lounge, of all places.
Yeah, they're in German. Yeah.
And basically, we have some of our friends playing Brotherhood of the Jam.
Mm-hmm.
They're like a pretty aggressive thrash metal band.
Yeah, I've caught them before.
Gelatin Skeleton, real fun.
Yeah.
They're
big metal stuff.
Big metal, yeah. Big
they love
metal.
it. Yeah.
Oh, they love it. And Maniacal Device, traditional thrash punk, hardcore.
Right, yeah. Some crossover,
guys.
yeah.
Crossover. Perfect, perfect. And
shout out to Morbid Rob.
Yeah, Morbid Rob. I tell you what, Morbid Rob has been a big, huge friend of Mala Sangre.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Well, he's on the record.
He's on the record.
I guess we're burying the lead, but it will be the CD release of their new one. Check it out.
Box it is
It's called Left for Dead. Yes, Left for Dead. Yeah. It's great. 13 tracks, and like the CD's awesome. It has so many guests on it, which is like I love.
That's probably my favorite part of the whole CD is getting Erieites in there.
Yeah.
And make them get them out of their comfort zone. We had horns.
Yeah. Jesse and Larry from this
Larry Wheaton and Brian Gray.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
Those guys did a song called El Matador.
Yeah.
And El Matador is not majority of folks consider it with a bull, but El Matador is actually the killer. And they came in and they killed it.
Yeah.
For lack of better words, but and then Scott Parmenter, he plays for Crawl. He's excellent lead guitar player. He does a lead. My son, Cameron Rivera, throws a lead in there. We did it all in one take, believe it or not, majority of it.
That's pretty impressive.
And it was done really quick. It was much more time in production than just recording it.
Right.
We told him just put us in the room, be sure it's hot, because we're old guys, it takes a little while to warm up to play that kind of speed. And I said, let us do it, and that's what he did. It was a great job.
So, one thing you guys might not know about us, we have the same birthday.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, yeah. Which, I'm Mexican American, you're Puerto Rican, and especially in Erie, it's almost not something you run across that much, especially like the punk rock and the Latino heritage. How has that kind of shaped what you've been doing for the past few decades?
Well, when I first started, I didn't really, be honest with you, I'll just be honest, I did not really develop my Spanish-speaking abilities until my early 20s. I was just focused on other things as a teenager.
Right.
I grew up in a neighborhood.
Barely speak any Spanish at all.
And I'll tell you a quick story about my brother, but I grew up mainly around Caucasians. My dad was a middle class, and probably was a good thing because that's where I ended up picking up all these punk rock bands, starting right around 78 with the Ramones. So each time, I did not really start adding a Latino part of it until my mid-20s when I started just speaking it more fluently. Now I'm almost fluent. And I started writing, incorporating hardcore punk into Spanish riffs and then just speeding the hell out of them. But it's still maintaining the rhythm, because that's the most important thing. Because people can do speed music, you can pick as fast as you can.
But it's still,
rhythm,
it's still that good. Yeah, exactly.
There's, you're just making noise or just showing off.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're doing speed because we know we can do speed at a certain rhythm and keep all the movement in it.
Right, exactly.
And that's really important. That's what our thing is.
So you've been playing punk rock since it's been around essentially in some form or the other. How do you feel about punk rock in general now, and especially in Erie, maybe? Is it?
When I first started going out and see bands, there were like the Wiggling Judies, the X-Whites. You know, Erie had a
pretty decent.
Generic beat, and it's kind of like it is now. It's always like the same guys but different bands.
But
they kept it going.
Yeah.
And then when I got into the scene myself in the late '80s, playing bars and you know, you had My Three Scum,
right,
the Assmen. I mean, there was a lot of bands, and then it started thinning out. Now I don't see as much as
punk kind of waned in general too in that period.
No, exactly, through the '90s and through the '80s, especially in Erie. More recently, it's not really more about punk. I think it's more about alt meeting punk bands.
And just everything mixing
you got
together.
Wavy, Trails, Gesh, generally enhanced, Superhumans. These bands are not doing what we're doing, but they're doing something really different.
They're bringing like shoegaze and metal and all this good stuff.
Yeah, they're mashing it together into this really cool sound.
Right.
And here we are, 50-year-old men playing with these young lads.
Right.
But it's good
the same. It's the same like mindset.
It's the same mindset, the same energy, the same everything.
Yeah, it doesn't have to sound the same, but it's like
exactly.
It's always been about that kind of spirit of like,
these guys
who cares? Let's just do it. Let's make something cool.
These guys are doing recordings with 4 tracks. I mean, they're keeping it real. They're keeping it simple. They're just and to me that's the way I did it. It's good to see that 30 years later, the kids are still doing it the same way. They're not going digitally enhanced music. No, they're just going in their basements and recording themselves. And they're even putting out cassettes nowadays.
That's true. It all kind of eventually circles back.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Check this out. The CD it's the release party on the 27th at Scotty's. And thank you. You got me a T-shirt.
Yeah,
Carlos, you're the best.
No, thank you, Nick, for what you're doing. Appreciate it.
You too, man.
Appreciate
it. And it has been my sincere pleasure. Check it out, and we're going to have Carlos play a song, so check out that video right now.